So then, I've just finished watching the Sebring 12 hours. It's taken me less time than the Qatar 1812 kilometres. But let's have a bit of a chat about it, shall we? Firstly, the pace of the top drivers and the top teams was brilliant. We had, 6 cars in the lead lap at the end of the race, and each of them had different strengths in terms of their performances. I mean, the 7 was fantastic. Worthy winners after all. The move that Tandy did, the battle he did with Vesti, who we're going to get to in a moment, were almost exemplary. But overall, I would have thought that the Porsche Penske cars were the favourites anyway. So, well done to BMW for getting the pole position. I think that was the 24 as well, wasn't it? That I don't think finished in the end, right? But well done to the 93 car for getting through to third. That was a really good battle towards the end. I know that the previous editions have been won by the Acura and the Caddy, but it was still great to see them in form, especially when you think about the moving around that there has been for the different outfits. Likewise, that 31 team were really good. I know Aitken has won before, but I know a lot of fans also probably still put an asterisk next to Aitken's win because of how it happened in the final couple of laps. Though I've got to say, my driver of that day is probably Vesti, right? Like, if you look at the experience that everyone else around him has, you've got people who, I mean, in GTP outright, I guess, but in particular in that top 5, or even the top 6 that stay on the lead lap. These are all people that are way more experienced. They are veterans. Some of them outright, sometimes in comparison to Vesti's limited experience in the hypercar class. So I was really, really impressed. And when he held his own against Nick Tandy, fighting back, repassing him, that kid's got a bright future. And I hope it gets fully realised, because the problem that you have, you could point to someone like Aitken as an example of this, is if you get overlooked for F1, people are like, oh, he just didn't get to F1. Aitken's a good driver. Vesti has got great potential as well. And I think while we're there, well done to Aston Martin for making it to the end. The Lamborghini didn't. And to get there with the top 10, they were already 2 laps out in the end, and they had mechanical issues as well. I mean, their fastest lap was, a second off of the fastest lap of the winning Porsche Penske car. But I'd say that's somewhat to be expected. They did a good job. They managed to get through to the end with minimal issues, and the performance wasn't half bad, especially considering that Bob can be an absolute nightmare for these cars. Likewise, well done for Inter Europol getting the win in LMP2. It was a fraught end to the race. I mean, what was it, the 22 ended up off in the wall, but it was so dramatic for those LMP2s in the end. Some great viewing, some unfortunate incidents, but they all got to the end all right. I think, wasn't it Dillman came across the line for the win? There were some dramas. I mean, I think, wasn't it Hyatt that ended up in a wall at one point? And there were several other LMP2s that make towards the end. The Perez Companks, who are drivers I've been familiar with for years from rally and GT exploits, just seem to have all kinds of different issues that they have course machine. In GTD Pro, and well done to AO Racing for getting through towards the end. That was a nice pass, ended up being for the win in class. The PMRs must be happy though, especially after the nightmare that was Daytona and those closing stages of the Daytona, you know, the whole flipping off and all of that. I managed to get one up on Corvette this time around, who were, again, behind the Fords. Decent performance from the Ford Multimatic cars. They've managed to get 1 in 5th and 1 in 6th in GTD Pro. It's looking good. Especially since WEC hasn't been the happy hunting ground for them this year with the first round. I'm hoping this just means good momentum when it comes to other GT3 series they're going to be in. And likewise, well done by Winwood for getting the GTD main win. Like, it was a bit cheeky, the little push right at the end. But they did well to get there and come back from all kinds of different bits and pieces to do well before. So, fair play to him. Good performance from Vassar Sullivan. That Lexus, I am still so impressed. Because, I mean, the Aston GT3 Evo isn't as much of an Evo as it's more some upgrades and a facelift. But that Lexus hasn't really had upgrades since it's first introduced. And it's up there competing with the AMG GT3 Evo that, I mean, I guess is also a slightly older car. But the three of them ended up beating, well, they got the podium, and behind them were a 296, a 992, a brand new M4 GT3 Evo for Turner, and both the Corvettes. Now, I mean, the Corvettes did have rotten luck. Wasn't it the DXDT that got turned towards the end of the race into Sunset Bend? But fair play to them all. Overall, it was a fun watch. It was easier to catch up with after the thing was done compared to the Daytona 24, which I didn't really think to catch up as much on. But it's also great that IMSA live streams to YouTube and you can watch it all back. It's one of those things I enjoy about some different motorsport series, that they are available for free. I think most series should look at having some kind of provision like that. But hey, who am I to talk? I've had a Rally TV subscription now since it was called WRC Plus, before they added the All Live to it back in, what was it, 2019? So I've had a WRC Plus subscription since, I think, gosh, 2015. Jeez, I was a school kid then. And I've got a WEC subscription, an F1 subscription. But it's nice to have some of the best racing that's out there completely free. Anyways, those are my thoughts. Let me know yours in the comment section down below. Thanks for watching, folks, and until next time, it's bye for now.